go.
Okay.
We're on. And what do we say? Good morning. But it's like 12:30.
Yes.
So.
Oh, we
What?
should just keep it a secret and they'll think it's morning.
Oh, does it matter?
No,
They
it
could be
doesn't.
watching it in the morning or at
Well,
night.
I know. You know, I watch it like at midnight sometimes.
I know, right when it comes on,
Right
you
when
watch
it comes on.
Hot.
Yeah. All of your videos. When they're coming on, if I'm up, I watch them.
Well, and here's the thing, this is probably going to be standard now, because I usually upload like at midnight on Sunday night or Monday morning for Monday, but now I'm working Saturday from 7 to whenever, because truck comes on Saturday now.
Yeah.
And then I have my own stuff to do, and then Sunday I work from 4 to midnight, so there's just no time to get this done. So it's Monday, so we're doing it now.
Whenever. I mean, you know, it's fun whenever we do it. Yeah. I
Yeah.
mean, it's fun for us.
But I mean,
whenever we do it.
It'll be up on Monday, it'll just be up later than at midnight. So, can you scooch a bit?
Am I?
I'm
Yeah.
hot. I just was outside.
Am I giving off that much heat?
Yeah, you are. You're hot.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I am. What's
What's new, pussycat? Oh, I had my mom. Well, she had it out, but somebody asked what kind this was. This was the reader, because they said their neighbor had macular degeneration and they wanted to buy one. It's called a Clover 6. So I'm just gonna show you this, if you wanna, I don't know. take a
And that
screenshot or
handle
something.
closes down and it comes with a little,
Oh, I see. Yeah, it
yeah.
goes like this. Oh,
yeah, like
so you
that.
can-
So it's
yeah.
not, you don't have that long handle.
And you can do it like sideways too, like that.
That's
Yeah.
the idea. Yeah.
Oh, so that's really nice. And you said this costs like a couple $100, right?
Oh, I can't even, but they're expensive.
Yeah.
All of these things are expensive.
Yeah. So somebody wanted to know that. And then Joy got these books. She got herself one, brand new. She's never read it. So-
No, it had high ratings and it's one of the newest books out. So it's really an upside book. Yes,
Metaphysics, New Dimensions of the Mind by Anthony Norvell.
kind of like some of the stuff we were talking about.
So if you guys want to be part of the conversation, because we're going to have like a book club, I guess,
Yeah, about metaphysics
about metaphysics.
or
yeah.
whatever you want to. It's kind of a lot of different things, and you know how science is involved in all this, and I mean, it's just so interesting. It really is.
So next week, so if you want to be part of this, you can get the book. And if you can, why don't you email me? It's at adventuresover50@yahoo.com to let me know if you want to be part of it, just so I have an idea of, and then we'll have to do like a side.
Yeah, this will be not a regular.
Yeah, not a regular scheduled channel.
Not everybody
Yeah.
is interested.
Not everybody's interested in it.
Yeah.
So maybe
yeah.
like once a month or once every 2 weeks, I don't know how we'll do it, like Zoom or we'll do something. We'll figure it out. But I guess we're starting a book club.
It's just getting so exciting, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
And then this fall, I'm so anxious to watch you when you're off doing all these fabulous things.
Yeah, me too. I wish I had more time right now to do more fabulous things.
I wish
Somebody wrote, I thought you traveled. I do.
In the summer, she saved the money to travel.
Well, in the summer, I mean, I literally don't have time. I was looking at like
I
just going
know.
for a night or something, but between the scuba certification and it's a lot of money. Like that cost me
I know.
$300, and everything it seems like in July has come due. Like my PO box has come due, my thing for Best Buy. You know, when you have a computer, I'm afraid to let it go. It costs $215. You know, it's that Best Buy thing. But
Yeah.
so if something happens to your computer or any of your computers, they'll like take it and fix it.
Yeah.
And here's the thing, you know, in your mind, like, you know, the minute that you don't renew it,
I know,
something's
yeah.
gonna happen to your computer, and they know that. And then I had to renew my trend, and then just so much stuff. It's just like, I don't know, this month, everything. And then I ordered the vent for the van. I ordered that online. I couldn't find it, so I gotta fix that. So that'll be coming.
That's good.
What else did I order for the van?
Yeah, when the van's fixed.
Oh, I ordered a new cord for my drill because I need that drill. I use that drill a lot. So just a lot of housekeeping. And I organized the van, and I got my microphone out.
Okay.
Now I just have to, like, which is easy, put it on the thing.
Yeah.
And the bike, sorry, catching you up on everything. The bike that was stolen
Yeah.
from the storage place.
I know.
So I got the money back for the bike, and then used that to reorder the bike.
Mm-hmm.
And now that should be here this week sometime.
And then when you get the screws for that other bike.
Yeah, that bike's still sitting in Joy's. That green one's still sitting in Joy's.
Well, I don't mind that. It's just that you
Yeah.
could sell it otherwise, and that would be nice.
Well, they have to anyway. So that's coming. Oh, and I just got today in the mail. I just stopped by to
Yeah.
a business reached out about a backup camera, and you know, I have a dashboard camera, but it's really small, and you use it on the phone. I wanted something that sat on my dashboard that then when I'm backing up, you can see.
Oh.
Because I've already hit a post. It's funny, I don't get in any accidents when I'm traveling,
Yeah.
and then I come home and I hit everything in sight. Like a tree and the vent, and then I have to fix it myself. So anyway, I'm like, yes, please, I just backed into something. And
Well,
so
that's such a good idea.
so it just came, so now I have to figure out how to install it.
Yeah.
But it's I think it's just a backup camera, and it has like a thing that sits on the dashboard, like a screen.
Yeah.
And so I'll be able to see everything behind me when I'm backing up.
I am so glad.
So anyway, like I said, lots of housekeeping. And you went with Franco this weekend and ran into Jessie, huh?
Yes, and it was so unexpected.
Where did you run into her?
In Stillwater, in
Where at?
a Goodwill store. Well, it was Saturday. It was just the other day.
Yeah.
And Frank and I went to breakfast. He picks me up at 9. And we go to Perkins in Stillwater. And then they open at 10. So then we go and we just look most of the time. We see and you see something different every week. That's why it's more fun than going to the mall or anything.
Mm-hmm.
And all of a sudden, someone comes over and says, "Hi, Grandma," and gives me a big hug. And I look, she was behind me. And I look, and it's Jessie.
Yeah.
And
Lexi.
And then Bailey just works in the Starbucks.
Yeah.
She said it's just a block or so away.
Mm-hmm.
So after we left, when we left them there, they were still shopping, and we went and saw Bailey.
Mm-hmm.
So exciting.
Well, how
Yeah.
random out of all the places on
I
a Saturday
know.
morning, you know.
You just never know.
Well, and here's the thing, I hate to be a downer, but I was watching a TikTok, and they have them on like YouTube too, but that Goodwill and like the Salvation Army, they're really for profit. Like the CEO makes like over $600,000 a year, and what they do. So here's what happens is that Walmart sells them all their like overstock or stuff that haven't sold, but they sell it to them for like 50 cents. And then they take it, and you know how the things have skyrocketed at Goodwill, and you know how you see brand new stuff a lot of times now? Well, it's all from Walmart, and then they sell it, like they get it for like 50 cents, and then they sell it for like 20. And the CEO is making like $650,000, because it's all, if you go look, that's all, what do you call it? Like public.
Yeah.
But most people don't go to look at it. And that's how they make their money. So that's the goodwill for the CEO and all the other executives
Well,
and shareholders.
It's all about money. I mean, I think, has it always been that way? Not so much.
Not so much.
Not so much.
And the Salvation Army too is exactly the same way.
Yeah.
And here, when you're giving, you think you're giving to the goodwill, somebody can buy it, for less money or whatever. And here they're just profiting. And, you give it for free.
Yeah.
So they don't even have to pay for it. At Walmart, that's all brand new stuff. So they really, and I even said that one time, you remember when we used to go, when you and Jesse would go? And it was so cheap.
Yes.
Like, things were 50 cents. A pair of jeans
Well,
was $1,
How many years ago is that?
Well, that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. And now, a pair of jeans is still still better than $150, but, they're still profiting off of and it's not going to who you think it's going to. And they even said, how they're supposed to employ people, maybe with special needs and stuff like that, it doesn't work out like that. So, want. Sorry to bring you down.
Well, but I guess no one's surprised.
No one's surprised anymore.
Maybe it'll turn around when these huge prices start coming down, then it'll start coming down everywhere.
Jessie and Bailey, she just sent me a link. They're looking at just a studio apartment.
Mm-hmm.
Like a studio is just like one opening, just like a floor, and it's not that big. I think it's 1,000 feet, square feet. I don't know, but $1,550 for a studio apartment. $1,550 for a studio apartment.
Well, I think it's going to be that way all over the place.
Well, I think we're going to be having more van people or car people because they're pricing us out of living in our homes and eating our food. So anyway, don't mean to be a downer here. I was going to say too.
That's okay. We can still have happy thoughts.
True.
When the prices come down, I'll tell you something to cheer you up. Well, maybe it won't cheer you up, but years ago, gas was 36 cents a gallon.
I remember when it was.
Does that make you
35
happy?
cents.
Just hearing that it was.
No, because now it's $4.50.
Well, you can say
happy.
It might come down.
Oh, not to 35 cents, maybe to $4.45.
Look at the bright side.
Oh, and then somebody said too, so I don't get this. So you live in your van, but you sleep at your mom's. No, I don't sleep. I took a nap at my mom's. I don't sleep at my mom's. They thought I slept at your house at night.
Well, what good would be to have your van then?
I wouldn't really be living in the van because I'm so busy. I'm not really in the van during the day anyway.
You only sleep in the van. Well, and when you were traveling, it was kind of,
Yeah. And
a lot of people are living in vans, I guess.
Well,
it's better than living in your car. It's roomier.
I don't know what I would do if I had to pay rent and by myself. When I was by myself, I was still paying $1,300. For
that?
and I was
always
a
over
single
1,000.
mom. And I told them, I said, if you raise it, I can't afford it anymore. And I was such a good tenant that he's like, nope, I won't raise it.
Well, he was kind of nice.
He was really nice. Yeah.
I don't think he needed.
No, right, yeah.
It wasn't like he needed it.
Right, yeah. He has other.
Yeah.
And I paid my rent in the middle of the month.
And that was unusual.
And he was like, Tracey, I've never had anybody pay me before.
2 weeks ahead of time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So anyway.
And you left it in such good in fact, better condition.
Better condition, yep. I had it. There were no blinds.
Too.
There were no blinds.
Yeah,
or curtains.
Did that.
And so we put the blinds and then left them there, and they were fitted, remember? They were fitted blinds. And Uncle Frank put that railing down the stairs.
Yeah, and he fixed that screen.
Yeah. So, yeah.
Uncle Frank doesn't do stuff like that anymore. That was quite a few years ago.
Well,
I can't get Frank to do anything.
And that was the thing. I thought they would expect me to do truck again, after, because I tweaked my back. My back's better now, But I thought to myself, why am I doing that, you know, for an 18-hour job, like putting my back at my health at risk, do you know what I mean, for something like that?
Yeah.
And so I said, I won't do it. I help, like I do truck, but I do it after. I don't unload truck anymore.
Not heavy stuff. I
No.
am so glad.
Well, and it should be the young people, not the old people. And that's how it is. And it's always just like us two women, and it's a lot. Like one time it was 900 pieces. And they come down fast, and they're heavy, and you gotta like stack them. So,
and you're so diligent.
well, and like I said, after I did that, it really made me realize, like, what if I really did?
Made you worry, yeah.
And you know, I want to preserve my health as long as I can.
Yes, and I'm glad that it's probably good that your back got a little sore, because it kind of gave you
Yeah,
a
pause
heads
to,
up to,
yeah.
I mean, you know, no, don't do that anymore.
Yeah, and for what? Do you know what I mean? It's not, wasn't it, like if it was me doing an adventure. So I am gonna do, I'm gonna ask them if they'll film me though, because I don't know how I can do it just by myself. But I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna do trapezing again.
Oh no, really? What do you mean? Just do it for a video?
Yeah. Well, I wanna, you know, I was so scared before, and I don't think I'd be scared anymore of climbing up the ladder. Last time I was holding on to the ladder
I
like
know,
this.
but the only way you could get down was to let go.
Now the only, he
right?
said, Tracey.
And there was a net
Well,
down there.
no, I wanted to go back down the ladder, and he said, Tracey,
Oh,
the
I thought it
easiest
was
way
when
is-
you went, yeah.
but you stand on the thing. But I didn't do a flip either. You can do it, and they can try and catch you. You know, you're harnessed in. But I think now, after like I've been through all this, like I said, I'm not afraid of bridges anymore. I wasn't afraid, you know, when we crashed in that kite thing. People are like, you were so calm, and I was just kind of like, well, just along for the ride here, you know.
That
So
takes a lot of faith, honey.
well,
You just trusted.
yep. And then I wanted to do, they had, because I'm looking for stuff to do, because I want to do an adventure, and that I can do close to home, because I just don't have the time to
But you'll
go
be doing
travel.
adventures in the fall.
Yeah, but right now I still have, you know, because all my time is mostly working right now, and you know.
Well, I think that's okay. I don't want you to jump off of trapezes and everything.
Anyway.
Well, don't talk to your mother about stuff like that.
And I thought I'd wear a GoPro so you could see me going like upside down.
It would make people dizzy.
Yeah,
What?
well, that's what you get.
I know. Do they still have? Yeah, they have a where you can go on rides and stuff, don't they?
At Como Park.
You could go to Como and you could go on the little
The
kids'
little choo-choo
cars.
train or something. Yeah.
I do that with you.
On the merry-go-round, yeah.
Oh, I love the merry-go-round, and nothing is
No.
scarier than the merry-go-round.
I'm craving some adventure, and
And I can't get on the horses though.
no. Oh, because that was one of the things. They have trick riding, like a class that you go
Oh.
to trick ride. And I wanted to do that, but it was like $750.
Well, that's.
And I'm like, I guess I'm not trick riding.
I mean, if you're taught to do it properly, you know, so it's
Yeah.
safe.
See,
but it's too expensive.
stuff like that is fun to me. And then I want to do, I think I'm just going to pay for a class though, but it's like these hoops. And then the Lycra, they're like silk things, and you do like, you know, you roll yourself up and then you roll yourself down. I don't know. I've been looking into a lot of stuff to do, but I had to get the scuba thing done first.
Yeah. Well, when is that done? When will you be? When will all of this stuff be done so you're ready for it?
For scuba,
Yeah.
it's done.
Oh, so now you're ready for when you leave this fall.
But of course, I'm having a problem. It seems like I always, on my Patty login, on my dashboard, it doesn't say that I have any classes done. And that's where you get like your certification. They all do it online now because they don't want to print out a card and send it to you, so you have to do it yourself and pay for it. But
So you
So-
just have to send for one.
remember, I had to talk to that lady last week because the scuba place needed my test scores and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's supposed to be in my dashboard, and it wasn't there. And then she had to send it to me by email, And she said, oh, it should be there. It's not there.
It's not?
And then now the certification, it goes directly to Patty. And so that's supposed to be in my login, in my account.
And that's not there yet?
Nope. So I wrote Barb. And I said, Barb, it's not there. So anyway, and they spelt my name wrong. Well, they spelt it right. They spelt it Tracey. And I said, oh, you spelt my name wrong. It's with the name. But then I'm like, oh, but it is right. But it's wrong.
That changing your name in first grade came back to bite you.
It came, yep, karma.
Didn't it?
Yeah, it
Yeah.
came way back when I'm almost 60. It came back.
Who would have thought? Now, if I'd have known that, I could have told you when you were in first grade, honey, when you get to be 56,
57.
57, I think would you have listened in first grade? I don't think so.
Would
you
I
did it
have-
without telling
Would
me
I have,
anyway.
Isn't that weird? I mean, who did I think I was?
Well, you had self-confidence even at first grade.
But
Really? I mean, I let, it didn't bother me that you changed your name. I figure, I told you, well, it's your name.
Well, now you're going to say, I told you so.
No. The only thing is, now, without the E, without the way it was, don't you have to correct it with the E now or something
Well, I
like
told you,
that?
so I was going to do it by changing my name. Because to change your birth certificate, you needed like a passport or something.
Oh.
And remember, I didn't have my passport because I had just redone it. So now I have my passport and my ID. So now I can change my name, which is a lot less expensive and a lot easier to change.
Oh, well, it's good you found a cheaper
So,
way.
but I'll do that.
Yeah, and
later.
you'll have that done then before you do your
Because I was
traveling.
worried about getting the ship job and them, because there's such a passport that, But I haven't heard from those people.
Well, you never know. As long as all that info's in there and they haven't said no. They haven't
Watch,
said
just
yes.
out of the blue, they'll just call me and say, hey, pack your bags. We need you next
Usually,
week.
but you might have so many things going then that you'll have to say, wait till the next trip and I'll put my name in again.
Yeah.
Then you'd know for sure that you got accepted.
Yeah, I think they give you enough time because I think you have to get
Yeah.
training and stuff
I
like
can
that.
see where that would be interesting and exciting and you get to see the places they went to.
Well,
can
and my
see that.
girlfriend Stephanie, her and her husband just moved. We used to model together. She's older than me. She's like, I don't know, 65 maybe. But her daughter and her daughter's husband and the grandkids moved to Alaska for his work. And so she's like, hey, have you ever been to Alaska? I'm like, no, I've really wanted to go. And so she's like, come visit us. So now I have somebody to just fly there and go visit.
Oh, now that would be nice.
So they moved because the grandkids were there, and she said, it's beautiful and we love it. So,
Well, yeah. Chris's husband has a sister that lives there. They've lived there for years and years, and they have a couple kids. And
yeah,
they like it.
yeah. So, but Cozumel and Bali first, and
Where it's warm.
where it's warm, yep. And then, I was going to tell people too, I'll post it, but couple more housekeeping stuff. So I thought you and I could do a Q&A, which is a question and answer.
Oh, yeah?
So if you have any burning questions for us,
Oh, yes.
I'll make a post on my YouTube channel and I'll say if you have any questions, and then you guys can ask there. So then I'll have them all in one place and I can collect them. And there was something else, but it just slipped my mind. So they can ask us all the burning questions that they
burning
wanted to
questions,
ask
yes.
us. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anything else going on?
No, I can't think so.
We're going grocery shopping after this.
Oh,
That sounds like fun, huh?
exciting.
You don't even know.
Yes.
Oh, and I've been talking to Keith and John. So we're all missing each other. I'm so
Yeah.
glad that I get to, so my plan is, I don't know if I told you, is to drive to Florida then and be scuba diving. Maybe I said this last week. Keith and I are gonna do scuba adventures around Florida, and Florida has a lot of great places. So we'll be staying where we're staying. We're at a new campground, so we'll show you that, and then we'll be traveling through Florida.
Now, this is when is this?
When I travel there in October, probably at the end of October.
Okay.
Yeah. I'll probably leave after my birthday since Jesse's here. Well, and then your birthday comes up right in the beginning of November, but we'll celebrate.
Yeah. I know you said you're waiting later this year. Hopefully we'll have a late
Winter.
and it'll still
Since
be
last
really,
winter went through like May.
Yeah.
Remember, I was trying to come back, and in
Yeah.
April, it was like, oh, it's still another 3 feet of
Yeah.
snow coming.
Well, you never know in Minnesota.
You never know, Minnesota, huh?
Minnesota. Hey,
Yeah.
there you go.
You've never heard that?
Yeah. Nothing too exciting has happened.
Yeah, we're kind of boring.
This week.
Everybody loved the snack thing. They thought it was funny. It's funny, we don't intentionally try and be.
No, we just are sillies, I guess. Yeah, and I think that those discussions, will be interesting too. I'm
Oh,
glad
these, yeah.
Some people really.
So I'll
like
show you
that.
again, just for you have it.
It's
See.
not.
It's called
I got it on
Metaphysics.
Amazon. So I.
Do you know how much it was?
Is there a price on it? I don't remember.
No, on Amazon.
They're not real expensive. I know.
Probably about $20 or so, huh?
Something like that. I'd have to look, but it wasn't.
Well,
Real.
it's got small writing. I usually like the big, easy reading.
Yeah, I like it when it's darker too.
Ooh.
But
Chapter 8, 10 keys that unlock the metaphysical forces of your mind.
that stuff is so. Actually, if there were no thought, think about this for a minute. If there were no thought, there would be no world. I mean, continuity comes from thought. I don't. It probably doesn't say that in
Chapter
there. This is
7.
about something else.
Chapter 7, all riches possible using miracle power consciousness of metaphysics.
Yes.
Hey, jump on board.
And the point is, and this is also true, the trouble is we forget.
We do.
In the emotions, that hit you in life, I mean, that maybe are negative, we forget that we have power with our thoughts.
Well, I've wanted to talk about this. I was actually going to just make a video. So I had something profound happen during my scuba
What?
stuff. So one of the tests is you go under, and listen, so you have this thing, it's a vest, and it blows up. So there's a thing to push to blow it up.
Yeah.
And then there's a thing that you hold on top of your head, like it's a tube. And then you have to hold it over your head, and you push it, and it makes the air go out, so you sink. Because when you blow it up, then you're floating. It brings you up.
Boy, it gets complicated, doesn't
Yeah.
it?
Well,
Yeah.
and that's the thing. So talking about your mind. So there was one test where we had to take the air out and sink all the way under, and then you're under there. And so your BCD, that's your breathing apparatus, what you keep in
Yeah.
your mouth to breathe from your tank, is over here. So this one's over here, this one's over here. And you have to take all the air out so you sink, and then on this you have to just put it partway in your mouth, so your whole breathing apparatus, but you tip it like this, and then I forgot you push on it, because then it forces air out, so there's a stream of air coming. Well, when I went down, I didn't push it. Like, your mind's kind of, you're underneath the water, and you're trying to think of letting the air out and then pushing this. So I'm looking at her, because the instructor's like this far away from me.
You're just learning.
And
too.
so I'm going like this, and no air is coming out, so I can't breathe. So I panicked, and I start scrambling to get to the top. And I get up, and I'm like, trying to breathe, and we're on top. And then we go to do it again. She didn't realize I wasn't pushing it. And the same thing happened. And so I came back up, And she's like, Tracey, you're supposed to be pushing it so the air comes out. And I'm like, oh. And she goes,
my God.
but she said to me, the one thing that I'll never forget, she goes, Tracey, you always have access to your air. You always have access to it. It's attached to you. It's always there.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I mean? It's like I was so busy, like worried about this part of it, that I always had my air over here all the time.
But you didn't know how to get to it.
I did, yeah, but it was always there. And
Yeah.
so when I went down, and for a minute, I panicked again.
Yeah, I would.
And I started going up, and then I remember what she said, and then I went like this. Okay, I always have access to the air. I always have access to the air. So I came back down, and then I did it, like once I calmed myself and like thought about it and said, okay, now do this. And there's a stream of air and I could breathe super easy. And then I did it and she was like, okay. And when I went back up, she goes, that was great, because she realized I had panicked. Then I had thought about it, and then I had went back down, and you just have to, and I just thought to myself, all this chaos could be happening over here, but I always have access to,
Yeah, right there.
you know, to my power.
Yeah, yeah.
The power was always there, but I was involved in too much thinking over here, that all I had to do was calm myself and remember that my air was always available to me. And I kind of thought about that as like a life metaphor. Do you know what I mean? Like this is all made up, or I don't have to involve myself in this.
Yes.
I can be over here where my safety and my air is. And so now that's how I think about it. Like if you just stop and think for a minute.
It is our thinking, our thoughts. Yeah.
So that was life changing actually, because now that's how I think.
Yeah.
Like don't panic, just like remain calm and just find your access to your air and then deal with it that way. Do you know what I mean? In a calm state instead of this chaos over here where you're flailing around.
And we've all gone through that.
Oh yeah.
That scared feeling, you know.
Oh,
and then your whole body reacts to it.
And that's what anxiety is. But do you see?
Yeah, it is what anxiety is.
And I think that that's what that first year of van life taught me was, you know, like the anxiousness going over the bridges and you know, just the driving on the freeways and stuff. And I put all of it outside of myself. But I told you this year, I was like, oh God, that truck is going to be mad because I'm not going fast enough. Well, I'm going the speed limit and I'm in the right-hand lane, so I'm where I'm supposed to be. Do you know what I mean? I just have to trust now. I just think, okay, you're going to have to go around me. Do you know what I mean? I center myself.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, there's nothing I can do than what I'm doing. And what I'm doing is within my rights. And I have a right to be here, so you're going to have to figure it out.
Well, you were following all the rules and everything.
But in the beginning, that's the thing. I was putting everything over here. I didn't realize I should be over here where my air was.
Yeah.
And even, you know, going over bridges. Like, I was making it fearful in my mind.
Yeah. Well, I still remember that one video. It's an early video. You was on your way there and you had just spent a day or whatever going over the mountains.
The mountain.
And that night, you did a video and you were sitting in the dark and
I was
it looked
crying.
like you were.
I said van life sucks.
Crying. You said, I am so nervous or shaken up, you know, from driving.
I remember I was in the back of a
day.
Cracker Barrel.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and I just felt so sad for you. But then, now look at you. I mean, you that I wouldn't see you like that when the next time you had to drive.
Well, and I told you my motto was the only way to it is through it, because there was no other way to get to the other side of that bridge than to actually do it. I had to stop and like pump myself up, but then it just became like when you face that fear and then you realize on the other side it wasn't as bad.
Right.
Because that's how powerful our mind is. We've already made it up in our minds.
And the trouble is, I mean, it isn't that we think we're helpless and have no power that we're
We just
afraid
forget.
of. I think we're afraid of how powerful, and this is in a sense for ourselves
Mm-hmm.
to think powerful thoughts. And metaphysics is talking.
Right.
I mean, it's normal, it's natural, and it's what, it's common sense.
Well, and it's funny, I use these like mottos or mantras now in everything, and like I said, now is the juice worth the squeeze? Because now that's how I feel. Is something worth what I'm going to get out of it? And and that's how I like weigh things now.
Yeah.
Whether
Yeah.
it's relationships or situations or like they said, putting stuff in my van. I only have so much space. So is the juice worth the squeeze? Is this worth taking
Yeah.
up that much space for my van?
And you've taken some things out that were too big.
Yeah, because it needs.
And you weren't getting that much out of it. Or I forget which
And-
one it was, but it was something. It wasn't doing the job as well as you thought.
Well,
it
it just took up I needed that real estate in my van
would. Yeah.
for other things. And now, like I said, I'm setting up the van. Now I'm focused on the van now.
Yeah.
I'm back to that because I really want to get Charlene back to, and even better. And I'm going to start doing lives, and that's why I got the microphone out. And I really, here's the thing. I don't want to, people for some reason, like, I know some lady, you guys are so nice. I mean, seriously, the comments uplift me, and just know if I don't respond, I try to respond to most people, but I try and heart everything so that I've seen it. I just don't have time a lot of times. But somebody said when I was talking about visiting Pam, and I said, it just reminds me to, while I'm healthy and have my health, to, keep moving forward. And somebody said, I was having a bad day or whatever, and I watched you, and I got up off the couch and went and took a walk.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm just sharing my experience. Like, I'm not trying to tell anybody else what to do. And that's like what our talks are too. Our talks are like how we talk to each other,
Yeah.
And we're just sharing. And if it moves you or does something to you, then that's great.
Yeah.
We're not trying to tell anybody to believe what we believe or do what we do.
No.
Go fly a kite 3,000
Go
feet
fly
above
a kite.
the lake and then crash into it.
Yeah.
Go trapezing.
Well, I just think all we have, I don't know the words, but if you're unhappy, change the way you're thinking.
Yeah.
And I know at first it's not easy to do that, but if you keep doing it, it will become a lot easier.
Well, and that's what don't forget your magic is. It's really don't forget your power.
It's true.
Yeah.
It's true. Our thoughts create
Our realities.
our reality. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't,
And if you don't like your reality, change your thoughts. Right?
that's exactly what I said.
Right.
I think.
Yeah.
But a lot of much smarter people than I.
Yeah.
A lot of really, that know.
Yeah. Well, this
Yeah.
ended up to be.
It's not easy to do though.
It's not. It takes practice.
You got.
And
you
that's
got to-
what life coaching, when I did life coaching, and that cost me like $6,000, and that took me over a year of like studying and it did more for me than it could, like I've done for anybody else, I think, or help my clients.
Yeah.
But it's turning your perspective around.
Yeah, and you have to keep doing it, and then pretty soon it comes naturally.
Mhm.
That's why I discovered years ago, if you feel sad or if you feel, worried, look in the mirror and smile.
But
I mean, it's you smiling back at you, but still,
But don't-
it does the same thing if someone else
Yeah.
is smiling at you.
don't
Yeah.
think we're perfect, because Mom, you've said negative things before, and I'm like,
Oh,
now,
yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's not it's not that we have the handle on it all the time.
We're still learning.
Still learning.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and that's the idea.
Yeah, that's
But-
the idea.
But anyway, oh no,
Yeah.
it's
It's a practice.
Yeah.
And then when you're aware of it, do you know what I mean? When you're aware, like all of a sudden it's like, oh wait, I'm going down the rabbit hole. What can I find positive? And I know people say that about me. Oh, Tracey, you're always so positive and stuff. But it's been a practice. Like I
Yeah.
did the life coaching school like 10 years ago now, 12 years ago, something like that. And I've been practicing it for a long time, and I've studied it. Well, just like
Yeah.
you with metaphysics.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's a study,
yeah.
and then you put it into practice.
Well, our thoughts are the most powerful things, and so it makes sense that
When
we
I-
should try to realize what we're thinking and change
And I
it.
tell you, I'll tell you this quick. So in a life coaching session, I always start, every session I start with, so what was a win from this week? So, so it starts
Oh.
out on a positive note, because if I
Yeah.
said, oh, what do you want to talk about? Right away, people just go to, it's just a natural
Yeah.
thing, like, oh, my job sucked, this happened, But if you say what was a win, big or small, because they're searching for that because they know I'm going to ask them.
Yeah.
So then they're like, oh, I got to see my grandkid this week, or something positive. Then their mind is already in a positive mental state.
Yeah.
And then it affects what they talk about right after that. It's
Well,
interesting.
in A Course in Miracles, there's this one. It says, you see what you expect,
Mhm.
and that's true. If you're looking at something fearful, you see. But it says you see what you expect, and where you look depends on what you expect to
Right.
see.
Well, it's kind
Same
of
thing.
it's kind of like when you buy a new car and you've never seen it on the road before, or you haven't seen many, and then all of a sudden you see them all over,
Yeah.
because then you're looking for them
Yes.
because you never looked before.
Yeah. So if you're looking for something, if you're thinking something is fearful or whatever,
It's what you're going to get.
you're going to see that.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, who knew that my channel would turn into talking
I don't
about
know.
metaphysics?
It's being molded, I think. I don't know.
It's
Whatever the
shaping
people want. Yeah.
Whatever the people want.
Well, I mean, I love this stuff
I know you do.
myself because it helps.
So that's what we'll be talking about reading this. So it's already almost 43 minutes. Can
Oh
you
my
believe
goodness,
that?
goodness,
We're gonna go
goodness,
to
my
eat.
goodness.
I haven't eaten anything, and we're going grocery shopping. So okay, if you want to become part of it, that's the book. You can order it. Did I do that? And yeah, that's about it. Oh, and then I'm gonna post a thing, and you can ask Joy and I anything. They're all gonna be for you.
Yeah, I'll have to think of some questions to ask her.
No, they ask us questions and we answer.
Oh, can I ask you something?
You can ask me anything.
No, I know you pretty well.
Well, I sold vibrators on national television. If I could tell you that, I could tell you
I
anything.
knew that.
I know.
Oh, that was a long time
And
ago.
she supported me. She's like, "Oh, that's great, Tracey."
Yeah,
I was the first and only to do that on national television. So that's going to be my epitaph.
That was a long time
That's going to be
ago.
my epitaph on my gravestone.
Yeah, I don't know.
Okay, are you ready?
I guess I am. I'm ready.
Go out and make an adventure, no matter how big or how small. You don't have to sell everything and move into a van. Why?
Because she did that.
I did it. And
Yeah.
yeah, I don't sleep at my mom's house at night. I live in the van 24/7. And go call someone you love. And as Joy says,
Tell them you love them.
tell them you love them. And the most important thing, don't you
Yes.
dare forget
Your magic.
your magic. Your magic, you have the air over here, you have it all the time. So, and say goodnight, Gracie.
Good night, Gracie.
Okay, we'll see you in the next one. Bye.